So today is Friday. It is the beginning of Labor Day weekend, and our plans this weekend are probably going to be mostly working on this barn back here. So today, pretty nice day right now. We're planning on cleaning out the inside of the bottom of the barn here. This is where the animal stalls are, and we plan on cleaning that all out because it's full of junk and stuff. We need to get it cleaned out so that we can start fixing up that area of the barn. And then on the outside of the barn, we're wanting to put fencing around the barn here for a barnyard. And I did have a lot of suggestions that don't clean up too much because my wife wants to get goats and they'll clean a lot of this brush out. But what we do need to do is we need to clean out the path where our fencing is going to be so that we can go along, put our post holes in, and put our fencing up. So what we're going to do is anything that's in the way of where we're going to put our fence, we're going to have to clean that up. So there's some concrete blocks up here in the front. We're going to clean up all this brush. In this brush, there's a gate, an old gate, and some fencing buried in this brush here. We'll have to get it cleaned out and just kind of work our way around the barn here so that we can have a nice path to be able to put the fencing in. So what we plan on doing today is just kind of getting everything cleaned up and prepped so that we can actually start doing our barnyard and fixing up the animal stalls. That'll pack down. Yeah, any of that stuff we know we're probably not going to use, but this rope.
What is this?
Did you see that?
What? Oh God, no.
You're like walking next to this snake skin the whole time. Oh look, he left it. It's hanging over the. Man, it's pretty long because it snakes through. Oh, yeah. You were like walking next to that snake skin the whole time. That's funny stuff. Then you freak out when I point at it.
Yeah. What? Hey, look, there's the power box.
Hey, yeah, there's where the power comes in, or used to come in.
Yeah.
That is not worth saving. But I bet some of that wire is, like, that's Romex there, and that piece there is Romex.
Some of it not.
The rest of it's old 2-wire, it looks like. yesterday we spent about 3 hours cleaning out the underside of the barn. We got all the feed bags and all the trash all cleaned up, and on top of all these hog farrowing areas, there was just a ton of scrap lumber. We got that all picked up, and then there was wooden dividers in between each one of these, and got that all picked up and kind of taken over to an area to burn them, a little burn pile area. So one thing you'll notice is this is just pretty dirty. It's pretty nasty stuff. So this is all either straw or pig manure, and there's actually some coon poop in here. So the coons have been living in here, and this is just pretty nasty stuff. It's all pretty hazardous for your health to breathe that in. You can get some pretty bad sickness from breathing in animal manure. So what we've been using is a N95 mask, and this one here is a healthcare particulate respirator and surgical mask. So this is rated for particulates, and it's pretty much rated for germs and viruses, and so it's kind of a multi-layered mask, and so that's what we've been using as we're cleaning this place up. So today what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to get the rest of these farrowing crates, or whatever you want to call these things. We're going to get these all out of here, and we're going to try to get most of this poop and manure and dirt, debris, whatever's all up in here. We're going to try to get this all cleaned out and get the floor all swept out, and pretty much just kind of get it all clean. So that's the goal for today. There's a mouse on there. Get off of there, mouse. Get out of there. So we got the inside all cleaned up, all the trash out of it, got it all swept up and clean. We got a pile of boards right here that we still need to haul off, but the inside's pretty much all clean. You can see everything's all swept and nice and neat. Over here, this is the side that had all the farrowing crates for the hogs. We've got that all swept up. This is in pretty bad shape. A lot of these boards are rotted, not in real good shape. So eventually I'll probably tear this all out and try to do something with this side. But for right now, this would be a big job to try to tackle. And underneath, this side over here is just full of old manure and straw and everything that's fallen through the years. So there's a whole layer of stuff up under here that'll have to be scooped out and hauled off as well. So that's a big task to take on, and I'll probably work on that next year. So this year we'll probably focus on the stalls over here, and you can see, I mean, they're kind of like falling apart, not in real good shape. At least the doors aren't, and the doors aren't anywhere near the correct design to hold in small animals like a goat. So I will probably keep the back of these stalls and the sides, and then I'll probably go ahead and build them up a little bit taller in between each stall, and then I'll probably redo these where these gates are. Probably make a smaller gate actually in the end for each stall. But that's kind of the plan. Some of the other problems is we got a window broken out there, and then behind that piece of plywood, the entire window is gone. So we'll have to tackle that. We'll have to tackle a door down here needs replaced. That window needs replaced. Some of these posts here, this one's loose, and then we had one that was only like about a half post. It didn't even reach the ground. I pulled that out. So we need to put in a new post. We need to replace maybe a few posts. So there's a few things here structurally we need to do to get this place back into order. But as we were cleaning everything up, we did find quite a few things that may be useful in the future. We got a bunch of, this is a bunch of electric rope, kind of like for horses. It's kind of an electric fence for horses. And we've got a bunch of electric fence hardware down there. We did also find some old feed pans and a scale. We got a shovel. I think there's a crowbar. I think that one's pretty useful. We've got some of the hang-on feeders to put in the stalls. And so we did come up with a few things here that may be useful in the future. And pretty much everything else we just threw away. We'll peek in this window here. So on this back side of the barn, it's pretty much kind of the same setup. It's got a raised floor where a bunch of stuff probably has gone through the floor, but it's actually set up with animal stalls more like it is down here. It's got, each has a swinging gate, and there's I don't know, 3 or 4 stalls in there. And this back side of the barn, I really don't plan on tackling this for a while. So we got the outside of the barn, it's all cleaned up, and the path that our new fencing will be is all mowed and clear for us to be able to put in our new fencing. We did get an old gate pulled out. I don't know if it's worth salvaging. And then this was kind of a homemade, probably like a corral panel. And I don't know if they're worth using, but we've got this all cleaned up. Over here, this is the old fence post here, and we're probably going to come this way a little bit and go that way. So our corner post will be right in that area. And right here was this big brush pile. I tried picking up the brush pile with the forks on the tractor. Didn't work out too well, so ended up taking that pile of brush, and we ended up kind of pushing that off to the side over here, and we ended up just burning it right here. It's a lot easier to just burn it in place than to try to carry it off. So coming up, we'll end up fixing up the animal stalls in the lower level. We're going to try to get them adequate to be able to hold small animals, and then we've already bought our fencing, and we have a pile of fence posts. So we're going to be putting in a barnyard that's going to go around the barn, and those 2 projects are already kind of in the works, so stay tuned, and we'll be posting videos on that as we get them done. Thanks for watching.